just to be clear, I don't want to give away the location of that place because it is so gorgeous, and you will get jippos ripping it to pieces just for a couple of quid's worth of stuff. So it still says public footpath, like up that way, and private, of course it does. Glenthorne House. I've no idea what Glenthorne House is. On the map it doesn't exist. Oh, this is a public footpath. Let's go and have a look. As far as I'm concerned, if it doesn't exist on the bloody map, how can it be private? But the impression I get is that it's down by the coast. So I'm looking at all these trees up here. Didn't say the woods are private, just the house. And that's just a handmade sign, not an official thing. Something I did see earlier coming down here was a rather large boat trailer. Yeah, well, if this does not exist on the map, how can it be private? That's what I'm thinking. But yeah, there was a someone's been cutting the grass over here. Getting closer to see it. What I'd love to do is get down close enough to the sea and then see if I can find somewhere to put my hammock up. If my hammock still works, because I've not used it in 6 months. I think it was around Christmas the last time. I'm not sure if I've been out since. I might have been out a few months ago. But yeah, see what happens. Just to clarify, I am not breaking any laws doing this. Because the sign says private, it only goes to that certain place. It could mean that house is private, not that the track is private. One way you can work this out for yourself, if you click on the location on, say, Google Maps or something, there's other map access things, and then click your other destination and select a walking route. If it tells you the route, then it's not private. If it's a private property and you're not allowed to have access to it, it will say it on Google Maps. It will say you can only go so far. So if it were a private road, it would have said that on the map. Also, the sign does not say private access, private road. It just says it's private only to that location. So it might just be that location that's private, but to get there, it's not. I'm going to guess it's owned by old people that are wealthy, because on the bend back there's loads of reflective lights, reflective strips on the bend. If you're under 60, you don't bother with shit like that, unless you're a complete pisshead. And the reason I'm thinking wealthy people is the fact that they're able to delete it from Google. You need to either have connections and or money to do that. That's a fucking gorgeous view. I would be so dodgy on this road on a bike. I'd be too busy looking at the view. There's a hell of a sandbank down there, you can see it. Yes, a weekend on a boat, learning how to drive a powerboat. All of a sudden, I'm Captain friggin' Masturbates. But yeah, this is beautiful. Hello, whales. Oh, look at me, it's about the sheep. Right. I'm not happy. I just realised I left my walking stick back up at the house. I was so enthralled by the scenery, and I'm going to have to go back up because there's no way in how can I get back up this hill without it. Fuck. Oh well, that's another 45 minutes on the trip. Half an hour later, back to my stick and back where I was. The reason I want to get my stick is not the fact that it's 20 quid. I could have gotten a branch from somewhere. I've got my little, half-inch blade. I mean, keyring I could have used to make a walking stick. It's just, this way I've got more options tomorrow after I camp. Because right now, I see loads of trees, but pretty nice. I mean, it's a really severe slope. Dodgy as hell because how steep it is. But at least there's trees for camping. By having all my kit with me, I've got more options for tomorrow. So I don't have to go back the way I came. I just could follow the coastline depending on tides. The problem I've got is that tonight I've got a bit of a call out, so it's going to mean no tech whatsoever is allowed. You get caught with so much as a copper wire on you, you get a kicking, any more than a copper wire, you get more than a kicking. So this little shack tonight's going to be interesting. I've not been on one for quite a while, but there's the road down there, track. So yeah, it just happens to be a mile up the coast. It's a boat pickup, so should be interesting. So I could try and go down there, but with my dodgy kneecaps and the metal work, it ain't worth the grief. I'd rather go for an extra half an hour jaunt around the bloody bends than risk crippling myself. Yeah, tonight I'm not going to be able to take anything with me. A little ritual with these things is, depending on how many people, you've normally got to get through at least 200 to 250 ml of vodka before you head off. So I'm going to be drinking 2 litres of water before I head down. I want to keep my head straight. I've no idea what's going on, but that's how these things work. So all my kit, phone, house keys, all got to stay behind with a Bergen. So what I'll do, I'm going to pitch the hammock, make sure it's a nice, discreet place, bundle everything into the hammock when it's ready to go. I think it's like 2 in the morning, I think. And then just unhook one end of the hammock and carefully hook it up to the other end, so it will be pretty much invisible. And hopefully still there when I get back tomorrow. So yeah, should be interesting. Christ, there's a long fucking way down this. 2 miles down these beautiful woodlands, and just there, public footpath. So I think that they may have steered the public footpath around this track, this road, which is actually a public footpath. They've just redone the signs to make it look as if it's not. Fucking bugs. Okay, this is going up the hill. I've just come down. Private no access. So what the hell do I go through? That's private with no access. Unless that's pointing in the wrong direction. I've got a feeling something's around the corner. Because having that confusing sign, see that is a public footpath. There. You see what I mean? You've got a public footpath here, actually called the coast path, but there was nothing on that road. So what's down here on the coast path? Still on the same road that said private. It fucking well isn't. It might be private for vehicles. Ooh, that's interesting. See, the structure I saw on the map that piqued my interest. Okay, it was not on the map, it was on the satellite image. These structures I saw. So it's not on the actual OS map. There's just a couple of, there's one, the large one, there's a shape, a blank shape, a very regular rectangular shape. No building at all on the OS map, just a blank where there used to be a building. But on the satellite image, there was 3. Fucking hell. How is this not on the map? Because I think, see, I'm really good at remembering stuff when it comes to directions. I know I had for food yesterday, but I know I had for directions. So even though the map is 2-dimensional and this is 3-dimensional, I'm going to guess that one of the structures I saw is up there. Up through that. That's a folly. A folly is a fake military structure. So you've got your fortifications, but they're a folly. You can tell this from the angle of the slits and the archway. So it's actually a fake guardhouse. So it's a folly, built in times of peace to show how much money people have got. And I reckon down there is the large structure. And I don't know how much battery power I've got on my phone. See, modern phones, they run out really fast to encourage you to use mains electric more. So you've got less independence. So I'm pretty sure down there, somewhere, is going to be that main structure. Actually on the coast, I think. And up here is another one. So yeah, sort of, I've still got daylight left. I've been on the hike now for 5 hours. And I've only had 200 millilitres of water, maybe 150. Because I don't want to start guzzling water. I've got 2.5 litres on me. I just don't want, 4.25 litres on me. I just don't want to start guzzling it on the way. I'd rather wait until I really need it. So yeah, I'm going to try up here. Alright, fuck this. It could be just up around that corner, or it could be 2 miles. I don't know. Or there could be nothing. Either way, all this loose shell, I've already twisted my knee once. I'm not risking it. I'm going back down there. I just walked for half an hour and doggerel. It's not just the fact that I could twist my knee and completely fuck me. I've seen no one else in 5 hours now. No other humans, nothing. And it's a sheer drop down to the sea. And ain't no fucker gonna see me. Now, if I crash and burn, I don't want to be rescued. Just leave me to be fucking munched on by worms and stuff. I'm happy with that. It's just, I'd rather avoid it if I can. And this shit is dodgy as hell. So, every now and again, check your essentials. No, check your essentials. That's not your, if your first thing you check is your phone, you need to reevaluate your life. It's not water, it's not your Bergen, it's not your phone, your camping gear, it's that. That is my essentials. Yep. A little snap lock for me, or carabiner, so I can snap it onto my things. House key, my machete. That is my blade, it's like a 1/2 inch blade, but it's a very nice, solid blade. So with this little kit, I can get food, I can get water, I can protect myself. That's my essential. The rest of it I can live without. The walking stick. If I got this, I can make a walking stick. I can use this. There's plenty of hardwood trees around. I can get water out of to drink. There's things around I can eat. There's mushrooms, there's plants. I could use that as a strike to get a fire going if I had to, if I wanted to. I'd be asked. But that's my essential. The rest of it is optional. Okay, your phone, your water, all the rest of it, that's optional. Keep your essentials hooked onto you at all times. So yeah, basically a little bit of power cord, I can use that as a noose, whatever, and my little blade. So, I'm now going to have some water. Yeah, we're getting more and more threatening. This is a public footpath, because it comes down from here. It's a public footpath, and now it's saying no trespassing, guard dogs. Right, on a public footpath that, according to Google Maps, is public access, is public property. And yet, according to these signposts, I'm going to be eaten by dogs. Okay, down through the woods, across the field, which also has public footpath stiles going through it, there's a house. It's a fairly big one, and a massive walled garden. I mean, that's a huge fucking wall. And there's some rather substantial gates down there as well. I'm not going to break in anywhere, but if I see a public footpath sign, I'm going through. Yeah, this is the point at which you backtrack and find an alternate route. Now, first glance, nothing too much of an issue, apart from the 3 security cameras, the 6 motion sensors, and the intercom. I will show you. Top of that post, CCTV. That tree, CCTV. That tree, CCTV. Those 4 posts on the gate are motion sensors. There's another motion sensor next to the post, which has your intercom. So if you stand too far in front of it, it will go off. So I think I might backtrack, because with this kind of security, it's not going to stop people from getting through. It's designed to stop people coming out with the vehicles, as in kidnapping. So whoever the fuck it is down there has gone to a lot of trouble and expense to hide. This is the sort of thing you normally get your Prince Andrews doing, and private security, or rather Special Forces off-duty security. Although I am not going to admit defeat, I'm just going to take an alternate route. Okay, I can actually see the shoreline just down there. That's a sheer drop down through the woods I'm not risking my kneecaps. So yeah, from what I remember from my quick glance at the map, it's a sheer drop that way down the coast. It gets even more severe until you get to, I think, Lynmouth, possibly. The other alternative, I'm not hopping in the big fucking gates. If I had my full body functions, yes, I would. I wouldn't give a shit. But I can't run. I can barely walk without a stick, let alone bloody evade doggies. So I'm going to head back up here and cut across, because there is a public footpath up there, and see if that would drop me down to the shoreline further up the coast toward Porlock. So I am curious as to who it is down there. Not curious enough to get me fucking kneecap smashed, but I am curious. Well, out of the three I mentally grabbed on the map as blurry images on a satellite image, one success, one near miss, and one I gave up on because I don't know where the fuck it is. So yeah, back up through the woods. And at some point I need to actually find a place to crash. But as I've got no food other than extra strong mints, I hope I remember to pack the extra strong mints. I don't have to worry about fire or food. So it's literally a case of, before it gets dark, find somewhere so I'm not falling over through the woods. I heard somebody in the lower woods just now. That's where the gate is, down there. So yeah, you think hop over this little fence or go between the gaps, go down there, climb over that fence, and you're in. Except of course, that one down there has got a trench on the other side covered in bracken. You can see the depression. It's a stream bed from up there. And this little fence, which looks very innocent, is illegal because that's razor wire. This fence here, I'm not going down to it because it's also electric. And it's not notified as being electric, but you can hear it humming. So there's a lot of current going through that. So you've got an electric razor wire fence which goes in the bracken so you can't see it, and all the way up to there, beyond there. I don't know how far it goes. But so they've got a high voltage razor wire fence, which you're not going to see really as you fall against it and get zapped. You've got a trench kind of thing, which could have Punjabi sticks in, don't know. And yeah, if it weren't for the fact I got smashed up kneecaps and ankles, I would be over like a fucking jackrabbit having a look. But the fact that the entranceway is electrified, has power going to it, and there's no mains power going to it, so that means its electric has to be generated somewhere. Now there's solar panels up on that shed up the hill, but that's not enough to get power all the way down here for the house. I can only see the one house and a line of outbuildings, and that's not what was on the map. What I saw on the satellite image was a massive sort of stately home sized place, whereas what I can see down through the woods here is farmhouse sized, with a long outbuildings in probably a 10-acre walled garden. So the actual stately home type house I still haven't seen, because it is pretty much at sea level, and I've no idea if I'm going to be able to get anywhere near it because the footpath is going back up the hill. I'm going to stay on the footpath from here on, because when you've got high voltage razor wire hidden for the most part, I don't want to be too fucking... I mean, yes, it might knock me unconscious for a while, but it could also fuse the metalwork in my leg, as well as fucking up my phone. So yeah, and of course razor wire does have a habit of shredding you. That's why it's illegal, especially when it's in the woods. Okay, I haven't stopped for more than 1 minute the whole time I've been out. I don't like sitting down. If I sit down for more than a minute, I don't want to get up. So, half a minute break. Just take the weight off my ankles for a minute or two. I'm not sitting down, I'm just leaning back against the bank. Yeah, this fencing. This looks very like normal fencing, except if you look every now and again, you'll see these little circles in the middle of the screen. That's for the electrical discharge. going through. So the whole thing's electric. And there's at least 4 layers from up here. You got this one, 10 meters down, another one, 10 meters down, another one. So if they're going to put electric on the first line of defence, it's only going to get more severe the further down you go. Yeah, you could just squeeze past the gate or hop over the fence, but they've got motion sensors. And I didn't hear any dogs. Oh, if you whistle, if you think there's dogs somewhere, whistle. A well-trained dog will not respond to a whistle, but most people don't use well-trained dogs. So if you start whistling, here boy, sort of thing, you'll hear a reaction. But the well-trained ones, you know, grand each, they don't react unless the person controlling them tells them to. So yeah, I'm not going down there apparently, because it's still going uphill. There's no way I can get downhill. The other direction, it's sheer cliff. And here, it's fucking fencing up the ass. And even if it weren't for the fencing, it's all loose detritus, and I would just be snapping my friggin' kneecap. I mean, as it is, the metalwork, you can see the bulging in the metalwork here, is getting further and further into my kneecap. So, yeah. Right, that's my 2-minute break over. Yeah, just to point out, to do a fence like this, every now and again you have to have a main one, like a telegraph pole, which is up there. Every 10 or 15 you'll have one, another one down there. So you're talking about £100, because of the location, 100 quid per section to put it up, with the fencing, the wiring, all the rest of it. 100 quid per section. Somebody has spent, just on the bit that I can see, just on what I can see, someone has spent at least £500,000 on one fence, and that's just one fence. Christ, you come up here with a little rechargeable angle grinder, you can just cut through it. Yeah, someone's gone to a lot of expense to section off this woodland, because that's actually a valley down there, which is a public friggin' footpath going through that valley to the sea. So that's the public footpath, the coast path. Yeah, very freshly painted up there, and I'm going down there because I want to get closer to the sea. It's that simple. And they've cleared the way lovely whilst they were doing the fencing. Now, looking at the way things are, that is wild strawberries. Looking at the way things are, you can tell when it was done. This was done, it was over 2 years ago. This was done. You can tell because the leaves would have been gone whilst they were doing it. They would just clear all the leaves out so they could put the posts in. So it's at least 2 years worth of detritus and fucking bastard holly bush growth. So, I mean, I'm back up now, maybe 50 metres to 100 metres above sea level. There's something down there as a house. None of this is on the maps. That's what's really screwed up, is that it's all been deleted. These are not new buildings, these are old structures. Hundreds of years old. And they've all been deleted from Google Maps. What the fuck am I doing? This is pretty much a one-on-one slope down here. And the thing is, there's a lot of buildings around. That one looks brand new. And there's a lot of fuel cans outside. And there's more buildings down there. None of this is on the maps. None of it. I'm guessing there's no planning permission, as they don't seem to exist. But I can hear a river, which means I could end up getting stuck on the side of it. This being bashed down here, that could be deer. So yeah, my kneecap is screaming in fucking pain and it's swollen. I have no idea what the fuck is going on down here. Well, I will not be hunting around at night time. I don't want to get shot. With the amount of security they've got around here, they've got several gatehouses. Manned gatehouses. This is when my mountaineering stick would have been a lot better than a fucking walking stick, because of the point to dig in the ground, except, great, I'm bleeding, bollocks. Because it gets too much attention on a bus. You've got like a metal pointy stick. Christ, I'm cooked. I just saw somebody walking around down there. It could have been carrying a half-sized broom handle that was black on a strap. But I'm not going to get too close. I abandoned going across down that way because there's too much brambles. Brambles, I don't mind getting cut open. It's just that if you do get cut open, it attracts bugs to blood. That's why you've got like a bit of saliva to keep the blood away. That way otherwise you would attract bugs. And brambles make a lot of fucking noise. So I find it's a lot steeper, but it's a bit easier getting down. There's another track down there. Another track over there. None of these are on the maps. These buildings are not on the maps. Okay. Due to the fact that I have seen at least 2 people with assault rifles. They're not the full length ones you get in the movies. They're like the short snub nose. They call it M8, M18, whatever the fuck you call it. They're like a half-size assault rifle, so they're used for close protection. I've seen 2 people walking around with them, and they're not highly trained because they're on a regular schedule. I watched them for like 45 minutes, and they're keeping to the same time, so they're not professional. They're probably ex-soldiers who think they're Rambo, or whatever the fuck. Yeah, I can count at least 8 structures just here. So, but this track, which has no buildings on it, according to Google, goes all the way down to the sea, where the big house is, which is down the valley. Now, legally, this 15-foot gate shouldn't be here, because it's public access all the way to the sea. And that's a very neatly mown lawn down there. Not cropped by sheep, but someone's actually cut that with a mower. So someone's living here full time, and they've got full-time staff and full-time armed security. A lot of fucking security. I mean, let's face it, if it was an actual official place, the first thing you do is take in a bastard road, and that's your back door entrance, which is actually more appealing. I got 5 minutes left before they come back. More appealing than the front door entrance from the top of Exmoor. It's really annoying because I really wanted to get to the sea, but I'm not going to get through it this way. I could just climb over and take a chance. I just don't fancy being attacked by dogs or dumped in a ditch. So yeah, that goes on for about another mile. I'm guessing about a mile, and that would go to the sea. And I guess I'm going to be following the stream up the fucking hill. I do need to get back to the coast by 2 o'clock in the morning for my pickup. But aside from that, yeah, just a lot of structures here that are, I mean, that one across there, from the weathering on the side, I'd say it's at least 5 years old, and it's not on the maps. That one could be younger, but it's inhabited. It's got the lawn down there has been mown with a mechanical mower. The grass has all been trimmed, the fruit trees have been cut back. You've got solar panels on the buildings. Yeah. If it weren't for the fact that my kneecaps are fucked, I would definitely be down there having a good recce. I mean, having a little look around. So, it'd be interesting to see it. If I ever do get a boat on the water, definitely going to come back here and see what I can see from the sea. Maybe that's one of the reasons why boats aren't allowed to come down as far recreationally. Alright, time for walkies. Okay, fucking exhausted. Pretty sure that I've now seen 2 of the 3 places I'd marked on the map. The first one I saw, that really gorgeous house, that's actually the one that is to the west-northwest on the map. So that was the first one I went to. The one that's the southernmost point, which just seemed like a rectangle, nothing else, that is the ones I've just seen. Signposted home farm. Bugs are swarming everywhere. So that's signposted home farm. And instead of being just a one little structure, which is what's on the map, fuck off bugs, it's actually, if you're scratching with bugs, don't break the skin. That would just attract more. Or if you scratch too much and it makes your skin go red, that brings blood to the surface, which attracts more. So there's at least 7 structures down there. According to Google, there aren't any. There's a little rectangle that you, well, actually no, on Google Maps there's nothing there at all. The first 2 I saw, the home farm one and the really nice old building, on Google Maps they don't exist. They're not even a blacked out area. It is just, there's nothing there, according to Google Maps. On a satellite image, there's like a grey smudge. But the main one, start with a B. I took a picture of the sign, where the hell it's called. That's the main big structure. That is the most northerly point, actually pretty much on the coast. And that's one of the high security fencing, all the cameras, infrared sensors, guard dogs. And you can see a part of 2 structures, but that's not what's on the map. On the satellite image, you've got a massive, stately home-sized thing. So yeah, I've seen technically all 3. One, I got to explore inside, which is a beautiful place, which had Wi-Fi, which is really weird. It's the sort of thing you do to a place to have it as an outpost. Like if you want to lay up somewhere and have it as a recce point, you're putting a bit of infrastructure behind cupboards like they did there. So they've got a power supply from the solar panels, I'm assuming. They've got a little, although if you're going to do it, hide your Wi-Fi fucking hubs under the stairs. If you're going to have it with a satellite uplink, put the satellite uplink behind the house. This is what I'm saying. These are probably ex-squaddies playing at Rambo, playing at being SAS, and not actual trained people in this kind of stuff. Or if they are trained, it's online training, you know. So if you're going to put up a satellite fucking uplink, put it behind the house, not in front of it. If you're going to have like a little layup point, lock the fucking door. Yeah, it is a sort of place that they probably have someone like Prince Andrew or Epstein, that kind of people who they want to keep out, famous enough to warrant protection, or Harry, someone who to warrant protection, but not to be publicly protected. So if Harry were to come over, they'd have him somewhere like this, out of the way, where they can protect him, keep an eye on him, and it's off grid. So, and right now it's evening, and because I'm next to a stream, I'm not going for a paddle. Streams are great in theory, but the reality is they attract bugs, they attract vermin. So yeah, it looks nice going for a paddle, but you're walking through rat shit. It's nice getting your feet wet, but you're walking through rat shit. And everything else that pisses in the river. If I was desperate enough, I'd find a bit and use my little straw filter, my filter straw thing. But I've got 4 litres of water I've not touched yet. 1 bottle was for tonight when I camp out, so I'll have 2 litres for the night. The other 2 litres is for tomorrow, just for emergencies. But I am going back up the hill and try and find some place where I can camp out. The thing is, it's daylight until 9 o'clock. We're past the midpoint of the year because it's July now, but it's still light till like 9, 10 o'clock at night, and I just need to crash out, sit down for 5 minutes. Okay, happy trees. It just makes you wonder, all the money, laws don't apply to you. Planning permission, fuck planning permission. Oh. Okay, back on the footpath. Fucking woodland is gorgeous here. Proper old indigenous trees. Unlike what's available to the public. I mean, to get here, you hell of a fucking hike. Confusing signposts. Lynmouth, 6.25 miles. That's the track I was on before that I gave up on because it was all shingle. My ankles were fucking screaming in pain. Permitted footpath. Sisters Fountain, 1/4 mile. Fuck knows. Up there, which I'm not doing. That's going downhill. Alright, no it's not, let's go in that direction. 1/4 mile. It's a fucking tree. It's a big bastard rhododendron bush. So there's fuck all in that direction. So that would have been a pagan site, which is why they've let it get grown over. Footpath, County Gate, 2/3 of a mile that way. Yeah, it's all in miles, not kilometres by the way. Coast path. Glenthorne Beach, 2/3 of a mile. Porlock Weir, 5 3/4. I'm going to keep going downhill because we're going to be circling Home Farm. And I'm not completely giving up hope on finding something. See, up there, somewhere, there's going to be a spring, which is going to be a pagan site, which of course they've let get grown over so you can't get to it. Because it's not Christian or Middle Eastern, oy vey. So, down we go again.
That's what she said.
That's where the structures are for Home Farm. Well, the entrance, it says Home Farm, down there. The thing is, you can tell by the track that it's not used. There's no broken grass, there's nothing at all on that track, which means that Home Farm is basically a back door, an emergency exit. It's not an actual place, even though it does have residential, what's a fucking mouse? Residential stuff down there. So the main residential structure is about 2 miles, well, 1.5 miles in that direction towards the coast. I doubt very much I'm going to get to see it, but it's interesting. Because that's like the big gate there. After I traipsed up the friggin' track, I found another signpost saying no trespassing. I found another gate I had to climb over, which is not fun. You just hop over it when you're fit. When you've got smashed knees, it takes 10 minutes to climb over a friggin' fence. So yeah, more gates saying no trespassing. Of course, I came from that direction. Oh, back through the woods. At least I got shade. I hate to be out there right now. It's late-ish evening, but it's still fucking roasting out there. Okay, just down through the woods, you can see some more of the structures that are hidden under the trees. That is actually a 2-story bungalow, double glazing, solar panels all over the roof, and yeah, it's single story from this side, but on the other side it's double story. There's at least 7 houses down there. There's a patrol guard. You can see him down through the trees there. The fucking twat. He's waiting for his mate to catch up. Fucking squaddies. Yeah, that's really weird. And there are 2 more houses. You've got one there, which is basically a barn plastered in solar panels. And you've got another large house there. That looks like Victorian era from the chimneys and things. And yet, according to the map, doesn't exist. Yeah, there's another building over there, another house. We're not talking small single-story houses. We're talking 2- and 3-story, like 4-bedroom houses. Just see the roof over there. So yeah, that's on the map. There's nothing. There's like a square blob on a satellite image, but on the Google Maps, there's nothing at all. Not even, you know, a blank bit. Yeah, oh, little bitch things they do on the trails. They will turn it up on purpose with a rotavator to make it ankle braking, to deter people from using it. And though any streams coming down through, they will actually channel it onto the track to flood it, to make it more treacherous. It's just bitch tactics to stop people from using it, and it does work. From the outside, this one looks like just a little shed, except it's a 4-story double glazed shed. It's got solar piping on the top, it's got double glazing on the top, there's no windows on the lower stories. Yeah, and double octane concentration tap style, double electric 10-foot tall fencing. This is fucked up. What you're looking at here, it's made within the past 10 years. You can tell by the stonework. 10, 20 years at the most. Now, it's got the double fencing, so you can't get to it. Zoom in a bit. Fucking bugs get off me. It's got double fencing to stop you getting in. So it's electrified, razor wire. You've got razor wire over that gate as well. All over that gate actually is razor wire. All this land has been mown. Not cut down for silage, but it's been mown with a ride-on mower. You can tell by the circles. That's a ride-on mower. Someone's done this with a fucking ride-on mower. Not for silage, to feed animals, but just to make it look nice, keep the bugs away. That is the roof of a 4, possibly 5-story stone structure. See, it's really fucking treacherous. This is all really slippery shit. I don't know if I can get a better angle. But this is top of the bank. If you look down there, it's a 5-story structure. There are stone steps leading up to the top part, but it's hollow. It's basically a massive tower that someone's built as a folly. So it's not a defensive structure. It's just been built because they can. That's fucked up. There's more buildings. I don't know if you can see that or not. See, they're camouflaged. You've got green roofs, so on a satellite image, they wouldn't show up because they come up as the same colour as the ground around them. So all you see is like a blur on a satellite image. I wonder if I can, this is going to go around and give me a better angle. So, you can just about see it there. We're up to 14 structures that would require massive planning permission, and none of them exist. I tell you something, if I had a motorbike on the road, I would definitely be looking at getting like an off-road bike and coming down here. I don't mean your gay fucking Ewan McGregor type things, I mean an actual like, scrambler. It's like 50cc. And it'd be to come down here and it's just fucking beautiful. And there's no people. It's brilliant.